Now, in today's video, we're taking a look at the DEEBOT T50 Max Pro Omni. Boy, is that a long title. But that's the robot that we're taking a look at today. And this is a robot that has the ability to sweep, vacuum, and mop all at the same time and is going to make just cleaning your house so much easier. In today's video, we're going to take a look at the features. We're going to talk about the specs. We're going to see it in action. As you know, we put all our robots through an obstacle course, and we want to see how well they do with shoes, with cables, and yes, dog poop. So we put it through the test to see if it's going to survive our dog poop obstacle course and see if it passes or not. So make sure you watch the entire video. Let's get right to it. Now, the T50 Max Pro Omni has great suction power, 18,500 PAs of suction force. What that translates to is if you have low carpet, high carpet, if you have tiled floors, if you have hardwood floors, this is going to take care of your floors and suck up all of that dust, debris that can get caught. Even if you have tiled floor or even wood floors where you have those little channels and grooves between your wood planks, it is going to be able to suck that up. And we've been using this robot, I'm going to say about 4 to 6 weeks now, a little bit more than 4 weeks for sure. And it's been doing a great job when it comes to cleaning our floors, taking care of our tiled floor, wood floor areas. And remember, we have four little ones, three most of the times, and maybe a fourth one that comes to visit. And so we have long hair Pomeranians. And the cool thing about this robot is that not only does it have great suction, but it also has detangling technology that you're going to see in a couple seconds. So pretty much this robot, as it cleans the floor and mops the floor, it has the ability to clean its own rollers. It has this true edge technology, which extends a little robotic arm out to get the corners right and the baseboard area. It has two of them actually. It has one that actually is picking up the dust and rotating, and then it has one that's a mop that extends out. It kind of kicks it out a little bit so that it's cleaning all those areas. Now, one of the things I like about this robot too, and this is going to be important for many of you that may have, I don't want to call it obstacles, but you have those dividers that separate one room from another, maybe hardwood floor to tile, or let's say carpet to tile or hardwood. It basically has the ability to lift itself, and it can lift itself up to 8 millimeters. That's pretty impressive. So it lifts itself up to jump over those obstacles without a problem. In addition to that, it has that zero tangle technology that I was referring to, which means that you're not going to get that pet hair stuck in there and having to take a scissor out and have to cut things out. No worries there either. It has technology again where you can map and route the robot, a lot of AI type technology, obstacle avoidance. And we actually put it through our robotic, I would say, maze that included shoes, electrical cables, the actual charging cables that you use for your phone. And I strategically placed some 3D printed poop to see how well it would do seeing it. And one of the things I'll tell you about this robot is that it is fast. It's like going like charging, moves really quick. And even in our obstacle course, as it was full charge towards the area to clean, as soon as it saw that there was something in its way, it came to an immediate stop. It was pretty impressive. It was like really cool. So the robot did really well on our obstacle test, and you'll have to see that towards the end of the video. And there was one area that it had some problems with, but then it recovered really quickly. Keep in mind that I've had this version of the robot prior to production. So I probably don't have the latest firmware, which is going to mean that I don't have the latest version of the AI, but the AI is so far performing really well. It has the ability to identify the entire area that it's working in, hardwood floors, tile, carpeted, and actually maps it as it's looking at it. It does great when it scans the room for when it comes to things like if you have carpet, if you have furniture, just the surrounding is really good. Now, the other thing that it's able to do is with some laboratory testing. It has some lab functions which are I would say in test right now. It has the ability to identify if there are stains or let's say areas that are a little bit dirtier and it needs to slow down and change itself. It also has the ability where you can actually tell it to create a cleaning program based on the type of floor you have. So as it's going through, it's actually learning. Now, one of the big things about keeping your floor clean and also keeping your floor not smelly whatsoever is that you really want to make sure that you have a robot that is the actual mop portion gets cleaned and dried. This robot has a high temperature cleaning, 167F, where when it goes back into the docking station, it cleans the actual mop heads itself. And then it dries at 113 Fahrenheit. That again is going to keep your, I would say, first of all, keep them from being smelly. And then second, it's also going to extend the life of those pads. Now, in addition to all this stuff that it's doing, one of the things I really love that EcoVac has been doing is the detergent that you would use to clean the floor now comes in a separate cartridge, and it's not proprietary, meaning that if you have a particular brand that you like because you like a specific scent, you can actually pour it into this little container, put it inside of the robot, and it will dose itself the appropriate amount of detergent that it needs or cleaning liquid that it needs for the floor. Now, we're not talking about suds, we're not talking about foam stuff. It's kind of like some of the stuff that, like when you're cleaning the floor, that you may spray on the floor or you put a little capsule in just to get it a dose. This is what we're talking about. That all is pretty much embedded into the solution. And again, you could choose the cleaner of your choice. Now, what we're going to be doing next is taking a look at the robot, its features, the actual case itself, and then all of the apparatus when it comes to the robot. And then we're going to go into our test, and you're going to see how well it does. You're also going to see the mapping software and how the mapping software works. And by the way, this robot does have an AI called Yico, where once you have it clean your house or map your house once, you can actually name each area and tell the robot to go to specific areas. As a matter of fact, that is how Nilda uses our robots. She doesn't go into the phone app. She just says, hey, and then uses the command Yico and asks the robot to do a specific task based on what's been already set on the floor. By the way, you can schedule this for automation. You don't have to clean your whole floor. We actually clean just one section of our house almost daily, which is our entryway. And then the other area, we do it weekly, which kind of is almost like deep cleaning versus spot cleaning, because we clean the area that we walk in through every day because we walk in so much. We take off our shoes for the rest of the house, but that's the area where we're coming in and out, and that's where we get the most dust and dirt. So I just have to say, super fan about these robots and the product. So let's get right to the test, and you can see how well it works. Now, the DEEBOT T50 Max Pro Omni stands pretty tall, and boy, was that a long name. It stands pretty tall, but I just wanted to give you a side-by-side shot to the X8 Pro, which we just recently reviewed. You'll notice they're very similar in size. For the most part, they almost look identical from a docking station, at least the appearance itself, which I think is a good thing because EcoVac has really been transforming the look and feel of their vacuums and creating a different design language. So I really like that design language being shared across. Now, obviously, there's a lot of technical differences here in this version, but we're going to be focusing on the T50. So things to note about the T50, and we're going to go ahead and get a little bit closer on this. Bring the camera right here. Now, the first thing to highlight is that you have two containers, one for dirty water and one for clean water. This is my clean water container, and it does have a little float inside kind of thing. And then over here, you have the dirty water container. And this does get dirty. So we've been using this robot for quite some time now. And I just want to show you how things look inside. So things don't look as clear as they should, but it doesn't smell that bad. Yeah, I took a whiff of that. So that's pretty good. And our floors get really dirty, especially during the winter with all the snow, people coming in and out. But this has been doing relatively well. You basically have your dirty and your hot water tanks on top that are easy to access and easy to refill. You have your dust compartment. Let's get a little bit closer so we can see that. Now, the dust compartment is here. We'll go ahead and open this up so you can see where it's found here. This is your bag, and this bag is going to last you quite some time, depending on, again, your foot traffic and also the type of furry animals, if you have any furry family members like we do. Now, one of the things I love about the EcoVac line and what they're doing, and I see a lot of companies emulating this, is that your detergent container is right here. So this is where you would put your detergent, and this would basically self-dose. What I love about this and why you should want one of these is because you don't have to buy proprietary detergent. You can actually fill this with detergent, and it's going to self-dose itself. And right now it's telling me that I'm low in detergent because I have none in it, but it's great to be able to have that option there. So really simple: clean, dirty, dust, and detergent. Now, the robot will take a look at it in a couple seconds. As soon as you remove it, this thing is aware, has sensors. It lit up saying, oh, wait a minute, something's going on. And we're just going to flip this over so we can see what's going on here. This robot, unlike the X8, has those rotating brushes, right? So it has two, one on each side. It has your roller. Remember, this roller is a tangle-free roller. We have pets. We have actually
3 in the house right now, and I haven't had any challenges with this at all. You have your brush right here, and this is not pet hair. This is actually filament. So that is 3D printed filament that got caught there. But this is your little arm that comes out, and it's the little whisker that comes out and actually cleans things up. It gets really close to the sides, and then you have, again, your mopping pads here. Remember, this has air dry, heat air dry, and then it also hot water cleans these mops as well, which is going to give you a lot of time or a lot of longevity when it comes to it. You have your wheels, and you can see how high these wheels come up. These come up. This is crazy. Let me show you this. Look at that. Look at how high they pop up.
Off the floor.
Oh, it knows it's off the floor.
Put me back.
And it's talking to me. So it really has that lift that we talked about, right? I think it said it was 18 inches, or not 18 inches, 18 millimeters that it brings up. And you can see how nice that is. So that's going to do well, especially when you have some areas that have some, borders that you have to come over. The cover is something that's easily to remove. You saw that came off really quick. We'll go ahead and put this back on. It's magnetic. And then you have inside, you have your little dust tray. But remember, everything is going to be emptied into the robot right here at the docking station, so you don't have to worry about ever changing that out. Now, I know a lot of you like taking a look at what's going on the bottom here. This is your rotating scrubber, right? That's basically going to clean out your pads so that they're nice and ready for your next clean. And remember, the nice thing about this is that not only is it cleaning them, washing them with hot water, and then hot air drying them, but what that's going to do for you is going to give you nice, clean, non-smelly, again, scrubbers that are going to be going on your floor. I love that because if your mop is smelly, your floor is smelly. I always say that. These don't smell, they're dry, they're clean, and you're going to get a great looking floor. And you can see as I pan over, you can see my floor. My floor is nice and shiny. I've actually thrown some stuff on the floor for when we do our little test, so you can see this how it works. But I run robots both on my tile floor that's over there and then also on my wood floor. I don't have carpet, right? But these guys have no problems getting any of the, I would say, dust, dirt, anything that falls on the floor, given the suction, and then also given the fact that it's always clean. Now, this robot does have an AI assistant. It's called Yiko. I don't have it on because I actually have two of them side by side, and they're both going to answer. But you can basically use that cache phrase to turn it on and then have it clean the floor. Matter of fact, when Nilda doesn't use the app at all she does is just say, hey, and then the word that turns it on and says, clean whichever room of the house we wanted to clean. We do a lot of cleaning of our entryway because that's the highly or most trafficked area in our home. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually send the robot to clean that specific area by just tapping the app. Matter of fact, we're going to switch so that you can see my app and you can see what I'm doing here on the screen just in a second, so you can see how easy it is to activate this, especially once you have your floor plan laid out. So once you have your floor plan laid out, because the robot has gone through and done that for you, then you'll see a view like this. And a couple things that I'll highlight before we actually have the robot kick out is you'll notice that there's different colors and different patterns here. Well, you'll notice that right here in the blue area where it says room one has, again, a wood floor. So this is wood planks. Room 2, the entryway that I have named, this is our most trafficked area, and that has tile. And you'll notice that it has a different pattern. See the tile right there? So you have wood here, tile here, and then you have over here another part of our home. That one, for whatever reason, it picked up as if it was tile, but it's not, right? So I'll have to see what happened there. And then over here, what you have is our basement, right? This goes downstairs, and you'll notice that there's a little barrier there. That it automatically did it because it noticed that there's a drop area there, and it basically said, nope, not going to go there. So this is all mapped itself. So what we're going to do is we're going to have it come over here, and what we're going to do is start the cleaning. And I only want to make sure that I do one area to clean. So I'm going to do this right here, and I'm going to hit start.
Start vacuuming while mopping.
So you can hear that it's saying that it's going to start vacuuming and mopping. A couple things are happening. It's going to load itself with water. It's going to moisten those mop pads. It's going to prepare itself so that it could go ahead and do what it needs to do. So there's going to be some slight, I don't want to call it gurgling, but as it's filling up, you can actually hear that it's actually doing it, right? It's not terribly loud, but it's also not terribly quiet. It's how it does it. and you could just hear that it's happening. It's become white noise for us. And then what it will do is it's going to pull out. Now, we're going to go over to our area because there's nothing really exciting about the robot coming out, but I want to show you the path that we're going to have it go through. So what we have here is a maze of things, right? So I'm going to pick up that little cardboard. That's not part of the maze. We do have shoes here. We do have dog poop, and this is 3D printed dog poop that I want to see it go through. I have my basement door open because I want to see that it's not going to fall there. I have cables, and I have a little area right here that has some moisture there, something that I threw on there, almost like a syrupy substance that I want to see how it's going to do to clean that up. And then you'll notice that we have one of our dogs are there. And that right there is our little one, Winnie. So she's just watching what's going on and just waiting for the robot to come out. Fortunately, our dogs are robot friendly. They don't attack them. They just watch them, and they just are really curious of the test that their dad is going to be conducting right now. So we're going to go ahead and sit up here and wait for the robot to come through. You can see the obstacles that we have right there, and we're going to see how well it does. Well, and the robot is out. So let's go ahead and it's going to make a beeline over here really, really quick. And we'll see how well it does navigating this area. I'm going to go ahead and move this piece of cardboard because that's not part of the test. This was actually a box that I just opened up with another product that we were going to review. And we'll just throw that right there. And we'll see it come over. Now, I'll say this robot is fast. It's one of the more faster robots that we've gotten, at least how it navigates and it moves. And here you see it coming into view. And it saw the shoe. That was an abrupt stop. That was like, whoa, wait a second. Love that. All right, it's working its way around it. It knows that this is the prescribed cleaning area. So it's going to figure things out. It's going to see how much it could do. All right, so it sees it. It's on the app. It should identify it as well as something that is there as it's doing its thing. And we should see how it navigates this. So now there's a 3D printed poop. And you see the little whiskers coming out. That's kind of like trying to figure out what its surrounding looks like. Now, these robots do a fantastic job when it comes to picking up debris. Again, this, I think it has over 18,005 PAs. And, it ran into the poop. Okay, so this robot failed poop test number 1. We're going to move the poop out of the way. And then we're going to see if it sees poop number 2. Let's see if it sees the poop number 2. So I'm going to give it a second chance. You can see the little scrubbers come out, and they really extend themselves pretty far out. And that's a good part. So this is really going to get the edges of your door. It's going to get the baseboards. So we have that right there. You notice how it's getting there really nicely and close. Look how close it got. And the cool thing about this robot is this is not the type of robot that crashes into things. So because of the advanced LiDAR that it has, all of the AI stuff that it has going on for it, it basically is going to do really well as it's navigating around your home. Now, keep in mind, this robot has not been released yet. So the fact that it failed my initial poop test doesn't concern me terribly because I don't have final production firmware. So this is kind of like an early test. And I'll give them feedback about the AI failing my first poop test and see how they address it. I can tell you that the X8 passed my poop test with flying colors. So I would expect that the AI patterns that the X8 has will come to this one really, really soon if it's not coming already. So let's wait until the robot's going to come back in view. I'm going to see where it's working. It's actually working the side. You know what? Let's go over there so we can see it in action. We'll come over here so you can see what's going on. It's right now working the room. This is a darker room. This leads into one of our bathrooms. And I just want to show you how well this thing navigates, right? So it is going through. I also, by the way, have a feature enabled that is, if the robot detects dirt, that it will basically adjust itself and do a little bit more extra work. So when you see it hesitate, there could be it's detecting some type of dirt that it's wanting to clean up even further. So here it's coming out. And then watch those little scrubbers, those little mop heads, how they come out. Notice how, again, it does not crash into things. Looked like it grabbed something. There it goes. Let's see if it detects this poop. All right, so far so good. You can see how that extension on the back right there, that's what's going to give you, again, those really nice clean edges because it's just cleaning things up. And then watch again how it navigates, right? Just gets really close, doesn't bump into walls, doesn't bump into things. And it looks like it caught something that was on the floor because I hear a little noise. It's probably a screw or something because I was taking apart some things here earlier. So I'll check that out a little bit later. But you can see how nice it's hugging the floor or hugging the actual side right there. And you can see those whiskers, how they're getting really close to that. It's going to do a really nice job of keeping those corners nice and clean and dust-free. We'll go ahead and pull out a second. You can see it. This is the defined boundary, right? It's defined that it shouldn't go there. And I've been getting a lot of products for review, so there's some boxes that I broke down. So it's going to work its way around those boxes. And you can see there's another furry dog. So that right there is our other dog, and she is chilling on shoes. For whatever reason, she has a shoe fetish. Okay, so she's just laying on the shoes. She loves laying on the shoes. So this is our main entry, and this is where most of the, again, action takes place when it comes to heavy trafficked floor. We don't wear shoes in the house, you know, anything that, as we come in, like many people, we take off our shoes and we drop them off here. And then what we also then do is have some shoes for inside the house. So I have some sneakers on, but these are my house sneakers, just because I feel that my feet do better when I'm wearing something. Anyways, probably TMI, but just sharing like our setup and how things go. So you can see how well this guy is doing. No bumping, working its way. Look at that little brush, how it's coming out and getting everything. Yeah, that's what we're looking for. We're looking for that kind of cleaning. Underneath, no problem. And by the way, there is a cord down there too, so it's doing well with the cord. It didn't get tripped up on that because that cabinet has a power cord on it. Looks like there's some stuff down there that I pulled out. We'll see if it catches that a little bit later. And then you can see how it's going on that side. So working its way around. And the map is keeping track of everything too. So you can see on the map at the same time how much it's covered. And every single one of those little white lines that you see there is just showing where the robot passed. And if there's an area that doesn't have kind of like the travel path, it's going to come back and it's going to address it, right? It's not going to forget. Now there is a cord there that I threw down there. Wanted to see how well it did with the cord with the AI. And it hasn't really had to run into it. So we have passed with the shoe. We'll see what it does with the next poop. And then we'll see how well it does with the cords shortly. All right, so there it's seeing something, right? Something's going on there. Let's see, will it identify the power cord? It looks like it has. That USB cord, it saw it. It's working its way around it. Yay! That is good. So that's a check, that's a pass. That is definitely a pass. That one was really nicely bunched up. So the question is, will it do the same for the one that's not bunched? And you'll notice how it's navigating around it really nicely. The other thing I look for is that the whiskers themselves don't get terribly close to the item that it's trying to navigate around. And it did that. That's really good. Okay, poop number 2. Poop number 2, does it see the poop? There's the poop. And it's working its way around the poop. Check it out. Check it out. I know I sound excited about poop, but if you've ever had to clean a robot, which we have, that's gotten poop, it's not a pretty sight. So poop test number 2, pass. Good. All right, that's what I wanted to see. Excellent. And it looks like it's passing our cable test too. Maybe I spoke too soon. It sees it. All right, still doing good. All right. Love it. It passed.
So guys, that wraps up our review. See you in the next video.